Lindo Lake Park, peaceful, serene. The body of water that put the lake in Lakeside. But 100 years ago, there was more to this park, much more. Lakeside was founded in 1886, your typical American farming town. The plan was to bring people into Lakeside. A year later, the Lakeside Inn was constructed.
The Lakeside Inn was built by the El Cajon Land Company to attract people to come to Lakeside, and it did.
The inn was a massive 4-story structure, more than 80 rooms, which were spacious, single or suite, with large windows that allowed plenty of sunlight and a view of the beautiful surrounding mountains. The hotel also had electric bells, gas lights, and telephones. There was also a spacious and warmly decorated lobby.
The Lakeside Inn was a beautiful building, and it was patterned or built more like the Hotel del Coronado. And it had a big ballroom that had this piano that we have, and a dining room. It was elegant, really. It was just like the Hotel del Coronado.
The cuisine at the inn was outstanding, thanks to the 300-acre farm owned by the inn that furnished garden-fresh vegetables, eggs, and milk. The inn's best feature, however, was its location on the lake.
That was an attraction too. They did boating on the lake and fishing and just general all-around recreating and enjoying themselves as the people did in those days. They did a lot of idle time, you might say, of strolling and picnicking and just enjoying the scenery.
Soon the train line was completed, bringing in people and industry. Lakeside was on the map.
During the boom time, they had about 8 trains a day that came to Lakeside from San Diego.
The train line for the town of Lakeside was a link to San Diego, and therefore we could get our eggs and produce and different things to San Diego and then vice versa.
Things got interesting in 1904 when John Gay bought the Lakeside Inn. He proceeded to fence off the inn and the lake, which he claimed was part of his estate.
Lakeside at that time, we had lost the park because it was taken away from the people of Lakeside and used as inn property.
So that these people that came out, and they came from all over, to stay at the hotel, had the use of the park.
John Gay continued to add attractions to the park, ultimately bringing an automobile racetrack to the site.
He put a racetrack around the lake and fenced it in and made it a real interesting place for people to come and watch car races, which was one of the first automobile events around at that time.
The 60-foot wide track, which was especially constructed for automobile and horse racing, attracted several famous race car drivers of the day, including the legendary Barney Oldfield. On April 21, 1907, in front of the largest crowd ever in Lakeside history, Oldfield and his race car dubbed the Green Dragon covered a mile in 51 4/5 seconds, a world speed record, on the track circling Lindo Lake Park.
Where Barney Oldfield broke the record. I think it was 60 miles an hour.
The record-setting performance was a boon for the inn and the racetrack. Over the next 10 years, regular weekly automobile and motorcycle races were held at the Lakeside Speedway.
I don't remember of going to it, but my husband did, because he came out here in 1913 from Oklahoma. And he used to go over and watch the races all the time. But it was, I guess it was quite an attraction. People came from all over to watch it.
After years of trying to regain custody of the park, the Lakeside community finally put the brakes on the Speedway and ultimately the inn.
Because of a disagreement with the hotel owner, the fellow that used the lake for his own business, and the townspeople weren't allowed to use the park. And they took him to court because it was a county park. And he didn't really have the right to do that.
The court successfully ruled in favor of the community, and that upset Mr. Gay because he thought it was his property. He wanted to keep it private. So he claimed that when he died, which happened in 1920, that he wanted the inn torn down.
He got mad because of the lake. They gave the lake to the county. So he got mad and tore the hotel down. He wouldn't leave it. Isn't that sad?
Not much remains from the legendary Lakeside Inn, although a young Eileen Carander tried her best to rescue items from the vacant inn before its demise.
When they tore down the hotel, they just left that building with all the papers, everything in there. And a bunch of us kids decided we'd go over and help ourselves to the papers of the inn. They came after us and took back all the papers, so we didn't have anything for the historical.
That was more than 85 years ago, and today Lakeside is a busy suburb in San Diego County, not the small laid-back town it once was.
Everybody is busy here. Everybody is. It's just, I think it's all over. It's happening like that. It isn't a small town when you come right down to it.
It's bigger, it's more people and more younger people, younger couples. And you don't see them. They work. Everybody has to work now.
And while the lake remains a public park run by the county, the Lakeside Inn is all but a distant memory.
Yeah, I bet you that.
At the Lakeside Historical Society, the matriarchs of the community are still working hard to preserve the town's rich history.
We've just recently opened up the museum, which is where 22 different ministers from the church have lived in the past.
What few pieces left from the inn are on display at the museum.
We have some artifacts, a few artifacts that we have here in the museum and at the Historical Society, a couple of bistro tables, and of course the grand piano from inside, which is lovely.
I know we have a three pieces of china, a little cream pitcher and a little saucer and cup that came from the inn.
The whole building was torn down and parceled out, and we don't have any real pieces of it anymore. We had some foundation before the post office went in, but now that's all gone. Just great memories, photographs, and just those items.
So the next time you visit Lindo Lake Park, be sure to check out the trail that circles the lake. If you listen closely, you may just hear the sounds of Barney Oldfield's Green Dragon.